So I just wanted to go over some ideas that I had recently. So the first one is, it's a door, but it has one of those door closer things on it, except randomly it's gonna slam the door shut. So from what I can tell, most of the door closer things have a spring with a pneumatic check to slow down the door when it's closing. So the spring acts as like the initial force to pull the door, and then when it's getting close to being all the way closed and speeding up, the pneumatic check valve slows it down so it doesn't slam. Obviously, we need to bypass this feature. So I was thinking that you have a microcontroller in the door closer, and then that's connected to a solenoid that bypasses the pneumatic check. And then you just put that solenoid on the end of the check and let it open randomly. So you could put like a limit switch somewhere to tell the Arduino that the door was open, and then it'll produce a random number, and if the number is in a certain range or something like that, then it would open up the solenoid and the door would slam shut. I just thought it'd be funny, like if there was a door somewhere and sometimes it would just slam shut and then other times it would just close softly, just to be a nuisance. The next idea I had that I want to talk about is related to EpiPens. You know what an EpiPen is. It's like the little portable injection thing for when you have an allergic reaction. It's full of epinephrine. But the neat part is that anybody can use them because you just jab them into your thigh. And then the needle sticks out, shoots all the medicine in, and then pulls the needle out. So it's like a really easy way to inject yourself. So I was thinking, what if you fill an EpiPen with black tar heroin? A heroin, you know? It's like an easy use, disposable heroin. It's like a heroin vape almost, because it's disposable. And I guess I just thought it would be funny. But now that I'm thinking about it, that could actually be a good thing. Because like sharing needles is bad, and it would be more sanitary or whatever. It would be funny if the government was making heroin EpiPens. Yeah, and I kept thinking about it. And what if you did that with steroids too? You have the Roid pen. So you'd have a steroid EpiPen, you just load it up with Tren. Easy use, disposable steroids. You could make a vending machine in the gym for them. Yeah, I just thought that was funny. The next idea came from a friend of mine, but I can't stop thinking about it for some reason. It's not even that interesting, and it's pretty simple. It's just a self-heating wok. And I don't even know how you would do it, if you would, like have a resistive heating element wrapped around it, or if you would go like for an exothermic reaction. But wouldn't it be cool if wherever you went in your bag, you just had a wok that would heat up to whatever temperature? Like you're sitting on the street or you're waiting at the bus stop and you pull out a wok and a bunch of pre-cut ingredients for fried rice. And you're sitting at the bus stop waiting for the bus making fried rice. That would be awesome. I want that for me. This last one is pretty gruesome, I guess. But this one I think about a ton. Like, I wake up in the morning and I go, oh yeah. So bones are a really strong material and they kind of go to waste all the time. So what if you made a machine that harvested bones from people or animals, I guess? It would strip the meat and the sinew off the bone. And then I had a couple ideas of what to do with the bones after you've extracted them. The first idea I had is, what if you powdered the bones and then mixed it into cement? Like you grind up the bones and then you mix the powder into cement as like an analog for lime or calcium silicate. Because very vaguely, I think that your bones, if they're ground up into a powder, might have a similar binding effect. I'm not sure. I think there actually is calcium silicate in your bones, but I couldn't really find if anybody's tried this. So I can't find a lot of information on it. But I mean, cement is already pretty cheap, and you can make it even cheaper if you put bones in it. Like, bones are free. Everybody's got bones. And it might even make it stronger. Nobody's tried. So I don't know what would happen. Concrete is a mix of cement and aggregate. So you could even grind up the bones into bigger chunks and use them as part of the aggregate instead of, you know, pebbles or gravel. You could also do both. Usually concrete and cement is mixed with water. So if you make the bone cement and mix it with a bone aggregate and then pour it over bone rebar, like you crush up the bones and you have that powder and somehow you sinter it together or compress it together to make a rebar, and then you pour the bone cement over it, you could make buildings that are like, I don't know, 80% bones? I don't know how strong it would be. Maybe you can't. Maybe you can't even use bones as rebar. But even if you could use it in the cement, viably, that's like a huge win. It's like free material. And I kept thinking about it, and, you know, concrete is a composite material. And I was thinking, what if instead of making bones into a composite material like concrete, you made them into a composite material like carbon fiber? So you somehow grind up the bones, and then the powder, and then take the powder and make it into a fiber of some kind, and then you weave that fiber like carbon fiber, and then you cover it in an epoxy, and then you can make cars out of bones. I don't know if that's a real thing, or if it's possible, or if it would work at all. Bones are like, what, 15-20% carbon anyway? You could probably just, you know, blast them in a furnace and extract the carbon and straight up make carbon fiber out of bones. It would be less efficient, but you could use the rest of the bone for the buildings, so it's not that bad. Yeah. That one has been, that one's been sitting in my head for a while. Maybe it'll go away now. Probably not. Yeah, so those are some ideas I had. Let me know what you think. I'm not sure if any of these would actually work, but the worms in my head won't let me forget them.